Hey everyone! Today we'll be learning how to crochet an adorable little pumpkin plush. As you can see, you can turn it into a hair clip. You can put a cute jack-o'-lantern face on it. I think they just look really cute on your desk or on your mantle. You could also clip them into your fall wreaths or put it as your use them in your tablescape even as we go into Thanksgiving. So it's a really cute little project and there are lots of possibilities for them. You can make a pumpkin crown and be the fall princess. This little guy I made using Plymouth Encore worsted because it was really my favorite sort of mid-quality yarn that came in a nice bright orange. But since it has to be bought in a local yarn shop and you can't find it at like Michael's or Joann, I'm going to alter the pattern a little bit and use Red Heart Super Saver since you guys can buy that anywhere and you guys probably already even have it at your house right now. So this will be using Red Heart Super Saver in Pumpkin, which is a nice bright yellow toned cheery orange. And for the stem, you could obviously use either green or brown, whatever color you want. You can use purple if you want. No one's judging you here. I will be using spring green in Red Heart Super Saver. My trusty H hook. You will need a little bit of polyfill stuffing to stuff these guys. If you want to put a face on it, I use black felt. This has thread all over it. I always buy 100% wool felt because I think it holds its shape better, especially if I'm cutting out little shapes. I tend to find that the 99-cent felt sheets at the craft store, if you cut really small shapes, they tend to shred a little bit, which for me I'm not comfortable with, especially if I'm making something to sell in my shop. So I buy this stuff online and it is more expensive, but I have more confidence in it. The cool thing about the felt in the craft store though is I think it's often made out of recycled plastic bottles, which I think is pretty cool. So I think if they ended up making it a little bit sturdier, I would definitely buy that over wool. But for now, the quality is really important to me. Not necessarily for my personal projects, but for the stuff in my shop, so 100% wool felt. I'll be using Fabri-Tac to glue that on. And then, of course, if you want a hair clip, you need to buy some alligator clips or French hair clips, whatever you prefer to have on your head. Did I say H-hook? H-hook. I think that's it. It's going to be a super easy pattern. It's basically just a log that we squish together, so it'll be really quick, it'll be really easy, and super fun. Let's go!
So I have like this crazy donut nail polish and nail stickers on because I just went to my friend Miss Kika and Nara's wedding in Los Angeles this past weekend. So yeah, that's why I don't really have like Halloween themed fingernails or anything. Anyway, if you were curious about where to get these donut nail stickers, I got them from jsutopia.com. It's out of Hong Kong. I'm sure there are plenty of other companies that have great nail stickers that would have more like domestic shipping, but I found them on Etsy and just decided to give them a try, and they have a lot of cool designs. Like, well, I might as well show you, right, while we're talking about it. You can fast forward through all of this if you don't really care. But yeah, I'm wearing donuts, and some other things I got were puppies and cute deer, kitty cats, and this is a really cute like forest woodland creature assortment, and then the donuts. And they do have other like food related stuff too, like candy and I think like a tea party. So I would definitely order from them again. It's just sort of a, you cut around the design and you soak it in water and then you just stick it on your nail and take off the plastic. It's really pretty easy. So anyway, we're just going to crochet a circle and then crochet evenly for a while to make a tube and then close out the circle, and that's basically all the crocheting that's involved. So we will start by making a magic ring or chain 3 and slip stitch to the first chain to form a ring. So chain 1 and just start a circle as usual. You're going to work 6 single crochet into your ring. Oops, sorry. And the way we work a single crochet again is insert your hook into the desired stitch, yarn over once, pull through one loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and that is a single crochet, or the abbreviation is SC. And you want to work a total of 6 into your ring. And for round 2, you're simply going to keep working around evenly. You're going to work 2 single crochet into each stitch. So we'll go in the next stitch and work 1 single crochet, and then work another single crochet in the same stitch. And you're going to go around and do that a total of 6 times. You should have 12 stitches at the end of round 2. For round 3, your motif is 2 single crochet in the next stitch, 1 single crochet in the following stitch. And you repeat that a total of 6 times. So 2 in the next, and then 1 in the next. At the end of round 3, you should have 18 stitches all the way around. Round 4, again, just continuing a basic pattern for a circle. 2 single crochet in the next, 1 single crochet each in the next 2. Oops, I got a little blip in my yarn. That should be okay after I crochet all the way around it again. So again, 2 in the next, and then 1 each in the next 2, and repeat that a total of 6 times around. Okay, at the end of round 4, you should have 24 stitches all the way around. For round 5, it's 2 single crochet in the next stitch, and then 3 single crochet evenly. So again, that's 2 in the next, 1 each in the next 3. And again, repeat that a total of 6 times around. At the end of round 5, you should have 30 stitches around. So I'm going to stop increasing here. You can kind of see how big this circle is. So what I would normally do is put in a stitch marker, because I'm just going to be working around and around and around, just 1 stitch per stitch, and I don't want to lose my spot. So I'm always really lazy and I forget to bring out my stitch markers. So if you're lazy or you don't have stitch markers, just use a piece of yarn. So I mark my spot where I am and then just keep crocheting. So what you want to do is just crochet 1 single crochet for each stitch around, and do that for maybe like 10 rounds. So rounds 6 until round 15 will just be crocheting evenly around. You're just, at this point, making a tube. Or I guess a cylinder. I'm going to keep just crocheting around and around and around for 10 rounds. So here we are at the end of round 15. I have crocheted just 1 single crochet per each stitch all the way around, and this is the shape that we're looking at right now. And now we're going to start decreasing. So for round 16, the motif is invisible decrease, and then crocheting evenly in the next 3 stitches. And to slow down the invisible decrease, I'm going to zoom in a little bit for you guys. And you can, for this little project, you can decrease in any manner that you are comfortable with. But if you want to check out the, is this in focus? The invisible decrease, it's pick up the outside loop only, or the front loop in my case, the front loop only of the first stitch. Then pick up the front loop only of the next stitch, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, and pull through the last 2 loops. And that's how you've just created a decrease. And then 3 single crochet evenly. There you go. And repeat that motif 6 times. At the end of round 16, you should have 24 stitches around. For round 17, our motif is invisible decrease, and then 1 single crochet each in the next 2 stitches, and repeating that 6 times around. So decrease, 2 single crochet evenly. So at the end of round 17 you should have 18 stitches around, and at about 18 stitches around is where I like to start stuffing my pumpkin. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. I found for this project that both understuffing and overstuffing have their problems. Like, it's not a huge problem, you'll be able to figure it out, but if you're trying to think ahead, like, don't understuff it, like if you're trying to save stuffing or something, because if you understuff, the bottom of your pumpkin won't puff out nicely. It'll kind of get like wrinkly and kind of weird, so you want to have enough stuffing in there so it feels pretty firm. But if you overstuff, other weird things happen, like it's difficult to pull the yarn through when you're shaping. I don't know, you want just the perfect amount of stuffing. And I wish I had a better instruction or description of that for you, but you will also figure it out. I mean, this pattern is so quick and so easy that, you know, you'll be able to figure it out. Like, you'll be able to make a couple and then figure out what level of stuffing you are comfortable with. I kind of gonna go by squeezability. Is it too easy to squeeze? Is it too hard to squeeze? We'll figure it out. I think I'm almost finished here. Sorry, it's getting a little dark. It's about 5 o'clock. Sun's going down a little bit. Okay, so for round 18, we're going to decrease and then 1 crochet in the next stitch and repeat that 6 times. So decrease, single crochet in the next stitch. 6 times around, you should have 12 stitches at the end of round 18. And we're really almost done, at least with the pumpkin part. And the last round is round 19, and all you're going to do is decrease 6 times, and that's it. 1, 2, and then 6. Slip stitch in the next stitch to join. Oh yeah, we haven't talked about slip stitch in this tutorial. Slip stitch is just insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, and pull through everything, and that's a slip stitch. Now break off, leaving like an arm length of yarn to work with, because we are going to use this tail to also put those lines in the pumpkin to give it its pumpkin-y squash-like look. Thread your tapestry needle. Close up this hole first by weaving through all the remaining loops. How I usually weave is I'll go from the outside or from the inside outward, and I'll only pick up the outside loops or the front loops of my remaining stitches. Just go all the way around doing that. And you can pull to close the hole. Kind of feel like I should have put more stuffing in here, but I'm just going to work with it and then tie that down to secure it. Now we're going to shape the pumpkin. So what you're going to do is just stick your needle in the hole that you just closed it up and pop it out the top. You want to go right in the exact center, right in the middle of round 1. Pull out your needle, and then you're just going to wrap the yarn around the pumpkin and stick your needle back in through the center and come out the top again in the same hole. Try to make sure it's not slanted. Before you pull too tightly, you can kind of rearrange it. Want it to be as perpendicular as possible. Okay, just like that. Move it over a little bit. Okay. And then how many of these you do is up to you. I usually do 5 or 6. So then you continue to wrap again, like a little bit away from the first line, and then stick your needle in the bottom again. Pop it out the top. It's really easy. Just want to maintain the tension on the yarn while you're doing it. So it keeps those little lumpy bumpies, and you just go again. Wrap around, stick your needle in the bottom, and pop it out the top. You can always adjust it a little bit before you pull tightly. Make sure it's straight, make sure it's light. This looks like it might be 6, so and pretty straight. Give it a pull, and here's the last one. The last wrap. Adjust it, make sure it's free. Give it a pull. And that's what you want to keep some tension on here, because you want to tie it off, but make sure everything is still kind of tight and neat and tidy looking. So I'm gonna, oops, I'm gonna tie a knot to secure it. Like that. He could have used a little bit more stuffing, but you know, it's still cute. So weave in your end. Usually for stuff like this, I'll just stick it through the center. And then trim it. At this point, you can kind of decide if, you know, which side is the bottom or the top. Usually, to me, the bottom is a little more ridgy, so I like the top because it's smoother, but you can do whatever you like. And then we're going to make a little stem for him. You can use green or you can use brown. I like green because it's cheery, although brown probably is more realistic as far as the pumpkins you get at the pumpkin patch. So the stem is pretty easy. What you want to do is pull out maybe 8 inches of yarn first. Just give yourself a good tail. And then chain 7. Skip the first 2 chains on your hook and then work a half double crochet into the 3rd chain, and half double crochet is yarn over once, insert your hook into the desired stitch, yarn over and pull through 1 loop, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. That is a half double crochet. You want to do another half double crochet in the next stitch, and then just single crochet in the next 2 stitches, slip stitch into the last stitch. And that's it. You kind of just made a funny little stem. And then we're going to break off. You want to break off leaving like another 8 inches of yarn again. So take your pumpkin, whatever you think the top is, and I poke it slightly, like 1 stitch off center. And bring that tail all the way through. And then thread your other tail and poke it through again, slightly off center, but on the opposite side of your first tail. This just gives it a good anchor for your stem. If you pulled both tails through the exact center, then your stem would just come through all the way through the middle of your pumpkin. So at the bottom, all I do is tie a knot. It's really simple. And then you can either just cut that, or I like to weave everything in. Like, weaving in ends is no one's favorite task. But it gives everything a good finish. So it's a good habit to form. So here's he's not perfect. He has some like weird dimples and stuff, but I think he turned out pretty cute so far. And you could stop here, or you could put a face on him. I was thinking of putting a template for the face shapes on my blog. This whole pattern will be free on my blog, blog.twinkiechan.com. But I figure all your pumpkins might turn out slightly different shapes and sizes, so I might put out a default template, but you know, your face might end up being smaller or bigger anyway. So I normally just eyeball and freehand all my shapes. So you can either you can do 2 triangles for the eyes and a triangle for the nose and then make the mouth. But if you bought anything for me on Etsy, you'll see that I normally do the circle eye. So it's like a circle eye with another smaller circle cut out of it. Just, I thought it was a little more interesting. Kind of gave the face a little bit more variety. So you can pick which you think is the front. Like, I think this is the front, even though it's a little mangled. So you kind of eyeball it. I'm like, yeah, that looks about right, right? And then you can kind of trim it and make sure it's pretty. And then I cut the littler circle out of it. I'm not wearing my glasses right now, so I don't really know what I'm doing. Pro tip, put your glasses on. Put your glasses on for crafting. And see, that's one eye. Then you can do a little triangle for the nose. That's his nose. Mouth is kind of the trickier one. I kind of gauge like how wide I want the mouth, and then cut a rectangle of that width. Sorry about the dogs. I think the mailman is here. That's about, I like it kind of a little bit wider than the eyes. Bunny, shush. And I cut the bottom edge first. That. See, it's not perfectly symmetrical, but this is getting better. And then I'll cut, I'm going to trim this one more time. I'm so anal about this stuff. Like, you do not even know how long it takes me to cut felt shapes out. Okay, and then I'm going to cut the inside. Don't do it too thin because you want room to cut his little teeth notches out. So you can have however many missing teeth you want. I usually do 3. Or I guess these aren't the missing teeth. These are his remaining teeth. These are his only teeth. No, these are his missing teeth. What am I talking about? Okay. What? No, these are his remaining teeth. I'm having an argument with myself. Do not mind me. Okay, I am giving him 3 teeth. Done. Let's stop talking about it. Looks like that. Pretty cute. Now we just glue them on. The glue that I prefer for this kind of stuff is Fabri-Tac. It's permanent, it's washable. It also dries really quickly. So that can be a pro and a con. Like, you need to get the glue on and you need to stick the thing on the thing. Otherwise it'll dry up and it won't stick. So for me, that's a good thing, because then I know there won't be a lot of movement. Like, it won't be like slowly like migrating downward as the glue dries, but it can also be a little bit tense because it's like you got one shot to get it on there. Fabri-Tac can also be messy. It starts to dry out in the bottle really quick, so it can start gathering at the tip if you keep using it. So I always keep a piece of paper or a paper towel to wipe the tip after each time I apply it on anything, because you'll see it gets really gooey. So you need to make sure that the top of this is always clean. I think I've read that people put Vaseline before they start working around it so the glue won't stick to it, and I haven't tried that. I'm not going to really try it for the first time in this tutorial, but you can go online and whoever the company is that makes Fabri-Tac has some tutorials and stuff, so you can look at that if that is interesting to you. So I know I said it dries really quick. It's not like instant. If you try not to have glue oozing out everywhere. Donut eye, I like that. That's cool. Just try to be really tidy So I glued it on a little bit crooked, but that makes him spookier, right? Yeah, right. There we go. He's all done.
I hope you guys had a lot of fun making your pumpkin plushie hair clip decoration thingamabobbers. I hope you guys have a safe Halloween. I'm actually flying down to LA to go to Hello Kitty Con with my friend Candace. I haven't had time to think about an outfit for that, so I may or may not be dressed up. I'm not sure. But if you're there, say hello. And yeah, if you have suggestions for some future holiday projects, leave a comment. I think in my queue I have a cute holiday bow for you. Someone asked me to do a smaller crocheted cupcake tutorial. I already have the bigger dishcloth one, but she wanted something little she could use as an applique. And I'll definitely do that. Someone also suggested a mystery crochet along, which I'd never heard of before because I'm a horrible person and not very active in the crochet community, but apparently this is a thing where you release small portions of a project at a time and have people work on them together, and then at the end you put it all together and it's sort of a mystery what it is. So I thought that was kind of a cool idea, and we'll see if I have time for that because I'm also planning to work on my second crochet book after Renegade Craft Fair, which is November 8th and 9th in San Francisco at Fort Mason, so come say hi to that too. And yeah, I think that's it. Have a great Halloween, and we'll see you very soon. Bye!